Today I'll be making the Lebanese sweet. So this is called Semsemiyi. I start off by toasting in a pan, in a dry pan, so no oil, no nothing gets added. So I put 500 grams of sesame seeds, any sesame seeds, 500 grams. And later on I'll add, once they've been toasting for about 10 minutes, I'll then add 150 grams of unsalted peanuts and keep tossing through. Do not stop, so keep tossing through as soon as it starts to warm up. If you find it easier to control it with the spatula, try and do that. You don't want to burn it. I'm using low heat, so to better control it, you don't really want burnt sesame seeds. I keep going until they're similar color to the peanuts. Depends on the type of peanuts that you do get and where you get it from. Mine is just from a local supermarket. So I just keep tossing it, and this I'm really happy with. I don't want to actually go over. There's some people that like it a bit more brown than this. I'm satisfied with this. It's going to keep cooking with the honey sugar mix. So I will just grab that. I prepared a oven tray and I've lined it. I'm just going to put them in there temporarily just until I do up the liquid mix. Now that I've finished that and I've moved it over to the tray, I will add 250 grams of honey with, and it's until this dissolves, 90 grams of sugar. So I'll just transfer that, low heat still, same heat, add it all in. So you want to keep going until it dissolves the sugar. It will start to bubble up as well. So once that happens, I just make sure that I add I turn off the stove first. I add the sesame mix back in, and then I toss it through for a bit longer, probably about a couple of minutes. So it's starting to bubble up, so I just keep mixing until it all dissolves. It does take between 2 to 5 minutes. It doesn't really take that long, but I do have it on low heat, so I'll keep going until the sugar dissolves. Now that the sugar's dissolved and it's no longer on the bottom and it started to bubble up, for me this is ready. So what I do is I'll turn off the stove, I'll transfer back the sesame mix, sesame peanut mix, I'll toss it through, and I'll just turn on the stove back on. And I'll keep stirring until it's fully combined. This is what you want to see. So it's completely combined, and I'll pull it away and I'll lay it in the pan. This will be pretty hot, so I've laid it in my desired pan, and I'll put a baking sheet on top. So I've got one underneath and one on top, and keep pushing down. So you want to flatten it, completely flatten it. If you've got a rolling pin, you can use a rolling pin. I'm just using my hands. So now that it's hot, you actually want to work it, and then we'll leave it aside to cool down as is, and then we'll pull off the top layer and then start cutting it. This has cooled down slightly, so what I'll do is I'll take off the top cover. Push down anything that comes back up, and just leave it as is, so it actually sets, so you're able to cut it. So it needs to completely cool down at this stage. What I did was I took it out of the pan that I had it in, So all I do is I clean up with this really good serrated knife. I clean up the ends, it cleanly cuts. I do that right around, and nothing ever goes to waste. So we normally have this just with a tea or a coffee. But yeah, so you clean up the edges with this. Doesn't need to be perfect, but normally I pull them to the side, and you can work with that. It's not sticky, and you can just work with this mix. So now that I've cleaned it, I normally do same size pieces. I don't do massive pieces. If someone wants to eat more than one, they can. It's not overly sweet, which is the good thing about this because we've used honey. But I continue and I cut it all up, and then I can serve it in whatever dish I want to. If I'm taking it to someone's house, I can. You can do various different sizes. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just pushing down to make sure it goes down to the end of the baking sheet. But yeah, if you choose to do bigger slices, also up to you. It depends on preference. But as you can see, the pieces come out. So this is ready to be eaten now.